Hello, today is Saturday, the 8th day of June 2019. My name is Derek, and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like, that is within each's own risk and their own reward. And going back in time, or looking in February 2017, before the miraculously amazing up moves, the dartboard rally started. And a dartboard move I'd like to call is when practically everything goes up or down at the same time. And in this case in here, this was a dartboard sell-off in 20s for the most part before this occurred at the first few months of 2017 and most of 2016. And in Ripple's case, this came out and it was around 8,000 and ended up losing 20 times its value. And we're seeing a lot of coins since the 2018 highs losing 20x and 10x and 30x. And then when they're ready to go, well, they end up going, and the moves after this, okay, down a bit more, and then markets would start to reverse its trend, and it gets all of its losses, and then a lot more. Back up to the facts. So, if you're doing the strategies I talk about, buy low, sell high, those who quit back in here and do stuff, they end up losing. Those who hold in, accumulate positions, and then able to take advantage of moves like this. This is just one example of many, of course, that had spectacular gains. While we're on Ripple, we'll just take a quick look at it and see that on the daily term time frame against Bitcoin, this May 14th, 15th rally, got above the 18 average of highs. Took a long time to finish off the sell-off down to the 18 lows, and thus making a higher low, finding support where this level of resistance on the 13th came into play. And then several of days resisting the 18 average of highs, and on June the 6th having a breakout above, attempting to leave this correctionary phase. The screaming or the statement is there. It still has not fulfilled or lost. It has now had a retracement back down to the 18 average. We can see this was a short-term move. I guess the 4 hour shows that very well. But that's Ripple. And as far as what I'm looking at today, Bitcoin, I look at it every day, of course, and it's just a meh, whatever day, hanging in there at 1,000 in the daily chart. As I've been stating, I don't know if this is going to hold and stay above the 18 average of lows or if we're resisting it right now. I'll just have to keep on adjusting to the message of the market. But as far as what's going on right now, there really isn't all that much. So what is going through my attention? Well, ModaCoin is up, and I end up getting a nice little sell order come in there. And that's nice. It was around 32, 33. Let's take a look at that. And yeah, right in here, this is where it would have sold. I end up buying Neo with it, and we'll see what happens on the next move. But I mean, the volatility, how 12,000 handle up to the 86, back down to 25, now up to 30. It's not much of a day, but if you look at the percentage move, 7 we can see. James Bond, well, not really, but down 5%, just a tiny red day. Day before, down 11. Day before, the volatility, of course, I mean, that was just massive, going from 89 down to a close of 33. But 12% down, but it was down a bit more intraday, of course. And then this day, 16 up. And this minuscule red day, 1.82%. Could you imagine the stock market going from 12,000 to 82,000 back down to 30 like this? Yeah. Or alrighty then. Yeah, of course, that's just normal. And then intraday, seeing it go from 26,000 to 33. Okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense for the stock market, but it makes a lot of sense in the crypto space. I'm looking at Komodo as well. I got a sell order very close to 22. Where are we at right now? We're at a high of 2172. And we have this level of resistance. Do I increase it a bit? Well, we'll see what happens. I bought it yesterday at 19 high. And I bought it for Litecoin. And I'll buy Litecoin back with it. And if it goes back down, it doesn't go higher, then it doesn't go higher. But we'll see what happens. But within these moves, I'm just going to let the market do its thing. And right now, within the daily term time frame, this has got a nice little pattern. I'd like to see this thing just go nice up to 26, 27, and maybe have to go to my Komodo wallet and send some to either Bittrex or Binance. The wallet is offline as of yesterday on Komodo, so there's a little bit of an arbitrage here, 20, and it has been for a while. We can see it's 2090 here, but because I ended up buying the Komodo yesterday, I didn't leave it. I just thought, why even take it off the exchange? It takes like an hour to send as it is anyway to Binance, and if I ever need to sell, I'll just have them there ready to go. So having your next sell order ready to go, depending on the coin, that's why it's a big difference with coins like Komodo and coins like Litecoin. Even Litecoin, it takes no time at all to send, and its price movement isn't so volatile where 5 minutes means a lot, or 10, 20, 30 minutes more realistically to an hour. But the the availability to sell it back, and then one of the ways I like to do it, if I'm going to do it this way, just as far as trading strategy is concerned, and let me just put up a nice little more of a blank screen in here. If I'm going to sell 1 unit and the ratio is say 100 to 1, I'm going to pick up 100 of a coin. Okay. So that means I buy 100 of the cheaper coins, and most coins are cheaper than Litecoin, like Komodo being no exception. We'll just assume a ratio is 100 to 1. Okay, so I end up buying a coin, and next thing you know, this goes back up. So I'm going to sell the 100 that I got, and now I'm going to get maybe 1.13. And I'll just hold on to it maybe. I mean, I'll just keep it there. And what happens is if I have to put more Komodo in or whatever coin in, and I'm going to buy another one, then maybe I'll send that to the wallet. And I'll explain that better with this Komodo or the cheaper coin. So later time comes on, the ratio flips back again the other way. So now with one, I was able to get 100. Now let's say I get 115 because the ratio is barely back over 1. And then I'll sell that 115. And this time, maybe I'll just get back 1.27. And then the 127 might turn into 143. So I've already gained 43% by just, and the more back and forth you can get, the better it's going to work. And then you might get to the point where, okay, yeah, I do need to buy more of this coin. And so you bring another 1.2 over, you get 165 more. Now I got 308 on inventory. Maybe I'll take 150 of them or so to the wallet, leaving 158 back, and so on and so forth. Let's move on next to Sky Coin, and we'll do the 4-hour term time frame to start this video on. Start this coin. That's what happens when I take like a 1 minute break. Start this video off. No. Anyway, volatility, I like it. So yeah, stock market. Let's just assume, yeah, I've seen the stock market go from 13,000 to 26,000 or whatever, down to 17, and it did that in 4 days. And then all of these moves back and forth. And even from this high to this last low, 287 down to 206. Like, how do you like losing 30% that fast? Well, when you want to profit with volatility, you kind of do like it because then sell here, buy back there. And now the question is this market ready to do a reversal, point low to point high? It's gotten above the 18 average of highs and it's accelerating nicely within this current period. It's gotten up to 236, and I must have missed that one. Or it's not quite the greatest. It just happened. Oh, 236. Let me just hang on a second. Let me just show what I see. What I would do in here is I put 236 in my spreadsheet, and I'm letting the volatility play itself out, lowering it a little bit, trying to get as many trades in at the same time, the best deals, and let the big moves come in, which is why I'm thinking right now in my head with this. See, with Sky and Go, I'm doing a little testing. This is more of a test one more than anything. I want to get at least 5-6% moves. Did an order hit for me? No, I don't think so. And I didn't have an automated order hit, which is makes sense because this isn't that high compared to where it was at 230. So then, I see something's moving here for me. What do I do about this? I want to get the best trade that I can. It's almost something I could consider day trading. And if this thing can get over 250, 260, like I say, I want to let the volatility come to me. I'll take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% moves all day, multiple times, hopefully per day. And that, let me, if I can, yeah, I'll sell up here and then buy back down in here again, realizing that as I sell here, if this is where I would, I'm going to buy that go immediately, which is the coin I would trade it against, and then adjust the ratio. And if this were to go back then, well, then its coin might stay the same. I might have to lose a percent or two on the other, but that doesn't matter because I'm looking at the ratio of what the other coin is, which is around 300 divided by this. And how many people, other than myself and anyone who is, because of watching my videos, even cares about what this coin divided by the other one happens to be? It's, but it is all a matter of division, and Go is 311. What's it doing? It's got an interesting daily term setup in itself, as it's showing a lot of strength and high. I don't. I hate to. No, I don't want to use that word. I'm not. I don't want to say showing strength on the 18 highs because I need a convincing rising 18 average to say that. It is hanging in there and staying above the 18 lows enough where it's starting to rise barely. And it's flirting with trying to break out of the 18 average of highs. That's a better way of saying it, because when I say flirting with the 18 highs or showing strength with the 18 highs, that has to have a rising average with it. But these moves, like look at the size of this moves. It's like nothing. 1.97%, 1.67%. If the stock market goes up 1.67% in a day, that's a good move. But this green candle here, well, that was 17.4, and this one was 32.7. And there could be some big moves. So when it's ready to go, this could easily go up to 452 at any time. So if I could just wake up and see one day, oh, it's there, oh, that's amazing, kind of deal. And if I can see, and just going back to the short term in here, that I can get, actually, this isn't the coin, anything, yeah. Uh, this is an interesting pattern just as I'm looking at this as it is, because the breakout in here comes up, barely gets above this high, but it really does match the two previous. And the big thing is these lows. This is how it played in here up until this move. Then after this down play, we have these levels of support higher than this. And it's showing a nice little pattern, and we can see just in this period alone how it is starting to lift off from it. We got this rising 18. Seeing this at 318, 319, this has got potential for that it could go, basically. Okay, what else is worth talking about? GRS, man, it's trying to possibly break out, but not really. There's a down move in here. Uh, it's neutral more than anything, but as this thing has done many times before, fast move. Here, just even here. I'm going to ignore what you could have bought here, but great buy for anyone who did. Fast move here, and this, it doesn't look like much from just this to this when you compare it to here, but when you're going from 55 to 12, that kind of is much. And then I don't got the Bittrex data before, but it kept doing this even before that. 8,500 to 47. That's just what these markets do. I'm going to push this to fast forward it. Nothing much more to go over on that. In any of these ones, LITECOIN is something worth talking about too, but let's just take a look at the losers, and there really isn't any for me. Aid coin, it's not doing anything. It had this buy at 300, so I'm either selling at 794, I'm buying and getting at 300. else left on that? Okay, Litecoin. On the daily, hanging in there within the 18 average of highs. It's a pause day ish so far. Well, it's obviously an inside day. Yesterday's high comes in at 120 and a half. Today's high is at 118 and a half. I mean, yesterday's low was like 109. Right now, in at 113 and two thirds. And the 18 average of highs is it? It's in at 114.16. And yeah, how we hold this move? How are we going to react from what took place? We have all of these nice little green moves from point low to point high. This is now 5 periods since then. Twice hit established support at this level. Resistance we can see is curling a little bit lower, which on the 1 hour should show us more towards such. Yes, we can see how a little bit of lower highs, but it's just more of this sideways range, not really having any attempts in breaking or resuming the trend, just keeping this in a neutrality basis. You could put this in a lot of symmetricalness in that you got this uptrend amongst with this downtrend, and just part of the correctionary cycles. And a lot of all the times, really, I'm not trying to predict when this is going to go up, although it's fun to do, and I'm pretty good at doing it. And this thing is live, in my view, for a gain whenever, but there's nothing short term right now saying, oh, this is really, really ready to go. And I mean, short term, I mean, the hour, exactly. It's got this little thing in here, nothing even showing that it's even attempting to break it out or break it down. It's like, okay, just do what you do. I'll check back with you later, kind of deal, which I will end up doing. And let's see LTC, BTC probably just as all meh as well too. Short term, that is. It's doing very, very good, of course. Breaking that key level of resistance that I was showing. And short term, it's not. We got supporting here where we came from there on the 1 hour. This level of resistance, again, not trying to break it, but since leaving the below the 18 average of lows at 3 in the morning, it's just been doing nothing for a few hours. But that nothing is along the way of this spectacular run. The 4 hour time frame is starting to correct well through time. It's only a couple of periods away from this meeting up within price action if it doesn't rise any further. And it does obviously doesn't take much to go down to it, just down to really close to previous support that we could see here on the single hour term time frame. Great move up, corrects it there, another great up move, and it's just in that correctionary play. So within the daily, we had this support. Well, let's just take a look at even more periods so we can see fully what these lines represent, which is this low and this high. Just a phenomenal move from the second week of December, expanding all the way to the end of the first week of April. So that's 5 months of higher highs and higher lows. One, two, three, four, 5 legs higher the first time. Going from the 70 handle to the 190 handle, doing about a 2.5 ish X move. And now the length of the decline from early April seems to, well, is to the middle of May. So a month and a half with 1, 2, 3 legs lower. And this double bottom has already fulfilled what you would expect it to do. Okay, so once we break this resistance neckline, which it did, we should have a good gain. So all the times I've said in the past about holding, if you can see it like hold and stay above for a significant period of time, then it should be productive. And this is a pure major example of such, because how long did it hold and stay above this 12.8 handle? Well, it started it on May the 27th, and the last day it held it was June the 4th. 8 days, a little over a week. establishing, of course, this great level of resistance. And you would figure that from a move from this low to this high, it's going to do more than this resistance. So if you're trying to get an objective pattern level, where the pattern is done, it's over. What we do from here, okay, now what question mark situation we'll see. And I was even saying in here, and I said this before, that when the market, before this move even happened, that I loved what was going on. Merely for the fact that there was one thing that was different from before. It's like in the school. Like you get like 8 pictures. Which one doesn't represent the previous ones, or about what was so different about this one with all the rest. Now, this one, of course, was falling down, but it was leaving this major area of support for really the second time. It did so here on May 31st, June 1st. And it did so again. So it looked good back then, and it looked good here. I was like, okay, this has the potential just given this one not so volatile day. And sure enough, good update, a little bit of follow through, and a little bit of pausing so far today. Wow, I spent more time on Litecoin than I planned on it. I could talk about the Dixie, but I haven't. It's like, man, it's a bunch of paper rectangles and digital numbers that do not represent the blockchain. And well, even when you hold paper rectangles, you're technically never really in physical control, given you can have things of like, well, we just don't accept them anymore. Paper money, yeah, well, it's fiat currencies against other fiat currencies. But it's at 96.56. And I really don't give a SHIT right now about this market, but I'm going to keep putting it on there. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. It's just doing nothing, really. Yeah. I mean, it's leaving the highs, but nothing to show that it's ready to break down. Even if it does a bit, we still got this two layers of support. One here and one down towards there. But it's now well below this support, and it's well above. It's well above here, well below here. It's boring. Alrighty, there really isn't anything much more to go over. I don't think. I did remove my Komodo sell order, by the way, just because, for just getting an extra small percentage here and there, I can, let's see. I don't want to sell at 22. I think if it's going to break 2170, it's going to do better than that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm still looking for just a monstrously, really, really good move. Skycoin, nothing for me to be attentive towards. Hopefully, Monacoin can continue awesome up and down volatility. And BNB, this is, yeah, I'll talk about this as a final subject. As what I did with this, well, T-Fuel, I should start it with. I mean, T-Fuel is doing nothing right now. We look at this on the 4-hour term, just really hanging in there. I got a buy order at 382. I got a sell order 489. I'll just let the numbers play as it is. But what I did is, okay, well, let's just put sell orders in. And if I sell, for every one I sell, I want to buy one back. So what happens is, for every one BNB I end up selling for, I'm going to put a buy order in. It might cost me like 0.75 or 0.77 BNB to buy it. So there's 0.23 or 0.25 profit. So the more of these I can accumulate, the more of the BNB I'm going to get. That's really the strategy. And if I want to day trade because I'm just gaining, and I started with 0.25 when I first got these, or when the T fuel market came into play. The 0.25 was merely nothing more than just to pay for fees. That's all it was. That's why I did. That's all I had. I'm thinking, in time, I'm going to need to buy some. Why do I want to buy it? Why wouldn't I just rather have it given to me, or won, or profited, or traded successfully from? Okay, let's do that. And then now I'm thinking to myself, why don't I just do a bit of day trading here and there? And well, I've had a couple small trades here and there and a couple different things to increase my numbers slowly. And I got, not counting buy orders at 382 and lower, I got 1 3/4 of these things, or 1.5, 1 3/4, which isn't much. It's like 50, $60 worth. But just to play around with, I could find something that I like. I'll go into the Theta market, or not Theta market, the Binance BNB market, and I know it's tough to you always see so much of it, but what I'll do is I'll sort this to volume, and I'll just take a look and see how the market may look. This is a 5 minute time frame. Got all the trade history. Even mine, I got a few in here. I ended up buying at 824 last night. I got out before going to bed at 835, and now it's down to 794. So I could look at this market here just from this. Okay, do I want to? It's breaking down. Do I want to put a buy order in later on? I have a buy order ready to go on another coin. Which one is it? Was it Ardor? No. And in checking, it's 260 on Loom. So let me just take a look and see how this looks. It's 273 now. I'll just show you on here why I like it at 260. Obviously, it's 13 basis points away. I probably should have just bought it because it was like 260. Oh no, I'm looking for the buyback here, that this level where it came from. That's what I'm looking at. On the 4 hour, on the daily chart, this thing ended up breaking out. So again, coming back down, the 18 average of highs is what I'm looking at here. And then on the hour, just trying to pick at a bottom, and then if I'm right here, I'll end up selling for a profit up here, and I'll sell for a loss down here. I showed you the one that I ended up selling for a small profit. Well, I had another one. I also had Cardano ADA. I sold that for about almost maybe a little bit bigger of a loss. In fact, I probably microscopically lost on 2 trades last night. So be it. But just it's a game. It's like playing like the Raptors and Golden State Warriors are playing a game. And congratulations. Maybe we've seen our last game in Oakland for the Warriors as they're moving to San Francisco, apparently. And the Raptors lead 3 games to 1. So those whom let's check out some betting odds on that. Why not? Let's go to Cloud and see what we got. And let me just put it so you can see pretty much all of the screen. I got this on a majorly large font so I can see it well, but it's a little too big. Okay, let's change this to American odds and go to basketball. Okay, here's the mathematics right now. Most likely, the Raptors are favored by about, and I haven't checked, 4, 3.5 to 4 for game number 5. 3. 3-point favorites. Looking at this math in here, money line in here, that means 144, 145 is the fair price. So for the Warriors to win this series, they got to win 3 straight games in a row. So let's just see what the approximate odds are. Well, based on this, if you're saying it's 2.45 and 1 decimal odds, then I'm going to have to multiply that by 2 to parlay game 5 and game 7, which gives me 6 to 1 decimal. And I'll assume that their favorite, maybe they'll have Kevin Durant back and they're not as big of a dog. I'll even go a low price like 142. This is insane that I'm doing it this low. So what's it about? 1 and 8.5, 12.5% chance for the Warriors, which would be plus 750, minus 750 fair prices on the outrights. I mean, really? What do they got? They don't even have it. But if you did make any type of wagers and you wanted to hedge your bets, you technically could put a small amount on Golden State plus 136. I think it's a pretty bad price because, again, I think the spread should be 3.5. Toronto's just a much, much better team. Even with Klay Thompson back playing magnificent. And if Kevin Durant comes back, he's not going to be anywhere near 100%. And I don't think it's going to matter if he's back or not. Anyway, this series will most likely be over. But I explained to you before how I just seen that there was tremendous value. And really, there's 2 reasons. Mainly why I didn't bet it. One, it just seems when I take these bets, I can't say this too much. It just, oh my goodness, it's so streaky. I'm not going to say it always loses, but sometimes it continuously always wins or it continuously always loses. That's what I go through with all my historical life. I've had a lot of good streaks, so I can't say that. But what I definitely can say is I do not enjoy watching sports that I actually have bets on. And if I either put a joke bet on, which is whatever, I put like $30 for the Raptors to win. I consider that a joke bet. Then I'm not going to really care too much if I win or lose, so I can watch it just freely. But if I were to put, say, $400 on the Raptors to win back when the odds were, as I was mentioning, I have a hard time watching it. I do. And what I was looking at before, and I didn't even post this on what I was looking at it. It was right before Game 7 of Milwaukee Toronto. I was thinking the odds for the East, it was like plus 250, plus 300, plus some sick number for them to win it all. And I was thinking, whoever wins between Toronto and Milwaukee's got a realistically good chance of beating Golden State. And I think if Milwaukee had to beat Toronto, we would have been around the same sort of deal here, where Milwaukee's leading 3 games to 1 against Golden State. But Toronto's a better team than them as well. But thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.